Hey y'all, so I am Ashley Ammons of Ashley Ammons Photography, and I am a family photographer here in Jacksonville, Florida. So my whole goal is to just be able to capture genuine moments in between families. I don't like when they're looking at the camera and all pose. I love the belly laughs and just mom and dad playing and stuff like that. So this lesson is all about how I incorporate prompts and games into my sessions in order to be able to get those moments, but also everyone looking at the camera moments for grandma and mom to post all over Facebook. So why is this important? I don't know about y'all, but when I first started, there was a lot of Pinterest in my life. So I would Pinterest a lot of poses and screenshot and save them on my phone or save them on my watch. And I would use that during sessions. I don't have a very good memory, so I would try and memorize the poses, but I don't know, I would always pull them up from my phone, which made me feel less confident as a photographer. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. But also, if you guys ever see those poses on Instagram or Pinterest or something that you are saving, they aren't normally posed, especially the ones where they're laughing or hugging or something. It's all prompts and games. So it's hard to be able to pose that kind of stuff. So I never felt confident when I was doing that. So I created this system so that way when I walked into a session, I felt very confident. And when you feel confident, your families know that you are in control, that you can handle whatever comes at you. And it kind of makes the whole session flow a lot better. Also, with prompts and games and this kind of system, you are going to get those good, genuine smiles. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a mom and I hate it when my son gives me his picture smile. That's what I call it. He goes but when he has a genuine smile, he's laughing and he has this beautiful smile. So I know that you guys know what I'm talking about. When you take your phone out and you're okay, smile, and they're doing it, but we want those actual smiles from them. So with this system that we're going to be able to do that. Also, families remember when they have fun. So no kid and most dads aren't saying on a Saturday, it'd be really fun today, let's go take family pictures. No, they're not enjoying it at all. So the whole point of this is to make it so that way it's not a job, it's not a chore, it's more of an adventure for the family. It's something that they're going to be able to go back and remember, we had so much fun just playing and interacting as a family while Ashley captured it for us. So that way when family pictures time comes around again, they're going to remember you because they're going to remember how much fun they had. Lastly, y'all, it is so important to keep the kids entertained and engaged because kids are crazy. They don't stand still. They love movement. They love being able to move around and play. I don't know many kids that can, especially under the age of 10, that can stand there and smile for an hour. That's just not something that happens. So being able to incorporate games and prompts into a session allows the kids to kind of be themselves and allow it to be okay to be themselves. So every single time I start a session, I always let the kids know, we are going to have fun. Are you ready to have fun? And they're yeah, I want to have fun. And then I look over at mom and dad and I say, we're going to get those smiling at the camera pictures. And then I look back at the kids. I'm so we got to smile first, but then we're going to have a lot of fun. So that way they just understand the expectations. I think it's very important to let the kids know the expectations and how the session's going to go before you start. So my 3 basic system is I do walking, standing, and sitting. And in between these 3, I play games and I do prompts and stuff. So the reason why I have these 3 is because I like to keep it simple. I don't want anything too crazy and them going up and down, up and down. Not only that, but families know when they book again with me how my system's going to go. They already know how the session's going to go. We're going to walk, we're going to stand, and we're going to sit. And in my standing, that is typically when I get the everyone looking at the camera smiling pictures, the ones that grandma, mom want to post everywhere. I make sure that we do get those, but I also want to capture a lot of the connections between the families. So this keeps it from being boring for the kids, and it also makes it go pretty quickly. So after we do all of this, I do a lot of playing later, but this is like my basic system. All right. All right, so first we're going to start with walking. So walking does a few different things. Most families are used to a photographer saying, okay, we're going to sit there and we're going to stand and we're going to look pretty. They're not used to movement. So guarantee you, when you start with this, everyone's going to stand there and hold hands and they're going to look at you and smile because that's what they're used to. Let's be honest here. Every single time you bring out a camera or someone brings out a camera, you are looking at that camera and smiling. There's never a time where they're like, don't look at the camera, you know, especially as a mom with like our selfies and everything. Like we want everyone to have like, look at the camera and have those pictures. Funny story is I have a friend who's a photographer and I was in a wedding that she was shooting. And she commented and she like messaged me and she was like, Ashley, in every single picture that you're in, you're looking at the camera and smiling. I don't know what it is. I think it's because like, you're just like engraved in that, like as a younger kid, like when my mom pulled out a camera, I knew I had to look at the camera and smile. So that's kind of what I did. So we want to break that habit. And the reason why is because I don't want that family to have a connection with my camera. I want them to have the connection with each other. And that's what I want to be able to capture. So we have to break the habit. And I feel like the walking warm up does that. So it allows the family to like loosen up, I guess. It gets them used to moving around. So I always do this twice. And the reason why is because the first time they're always looking at me. Every single time. It never fails. They're always looking at me. And then the second time they're used to being like, okay, we're going to go ahead and look at each other. I show them exactly what I want. I tell them, I don't want you looking at me and going, ha, 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 we're walking. No, I don't want that. I want you guys looking at each other and laughing with each other and looking how ridiculous this is. And, you know, I also tell mom how to walk because I don't want her walking straight on. I want her like using those angles to make her like look the best. And I show her that. I am such a visual person. So I show everything. The walking warm-up also allows the kids to start realizing like, oh, this isn't going to be like a normal session. I'm going to be moving. It's fun and everything. I also go ahead and grab like different angles of the family as well. Sometimes I'll shoot head on. Sometimes like I'll shoot from a different angle. Sometimes I do like follow the leader where one person is leading the line. You know, sometimes I'll go in really closely on one of the kids, especially if mom's holding one of the babies. And sometimes I'll just like focus on one of the kids and crop mom and dad at the waist. So different angles definitely makes it a lot more interesting and it kind of gives your album a lot more diversity and things to choose from. I do shout at them to who to look at because if you don't, then a lot of times they will start looking at the camera. So normally the first thing I shout is, Mom and Dad, look at each other, look at each other. And then I'll say something funny like, you can't wait to have more kids, you know, or something along those lines. And when I do that, typically the kids will look up at the parents seeing like, are you guys not looking at the camera? And, you know, then they start laughing with each other and stuff as well. While I do the walking, after I like do it like the first or second time, we also I can play games in there as well. One of them is wiggle. So wiggle is just like they're wiggling around. And that normally gets a lot of like really cute laughs out of the kids. And then the next one is booty bump. I always explain to them beforehand, we're not looking to knock people down. We are looking just to like do a little tap booty bump as we're walking. So I'll do that, one of those, one of the walks. This is just examples of a few of my walking warm-ups. So as you can tell in like the first one, that's when I first set them up and they thought it was really funny that they were just walking. The second one, I typically try and get dad to hold baby, but a lot of times they just want mommy, like, so that's okay. Mom can hold babe. And then the third one is, like I told you guys, the following the leader. Love it when little kids do this because they just feel so cool, like leading the line and everything. And then the last one, I just wanted to show you guys like how it is really cute too if you put like the littles like on the ground and they're just walking and they just walk a lot slower. So Yeah, these are just a few of the examples. I typically try and have dad put his hand in his pocket with his thumb out. But my whole goal, like I said, for this is to like make them feel comfortable and is something that's natural. So I tell them to put their hand in their pocket, but if it falls out of their pocket or they just, naturally want to like swing it, then that's fine too. The next thing that I do is standing. So this is where I am going to get that everyone looking at the camera smiling moment. So the first thing that I do is I set them up posed. After that, I give them a prompt. And I'll show you guys examples later that I don't have them move from that posed stance. And the reason why is because I do pose and then I do a prompt where they're like somewhat looking at each other in that posed spot. And after I do a prompt, they typically start more, not being so stiff. Because when you put them in a posed position, they're going to be super stiff. They're like, you told me to put my hand here, so I'm going to put my hand right here. But after you do a prompt, they loosen up a lot. So in this picture, for example, the little boy, he was holding his sister's hand. And then after the prompt, he naturally went up and started rubbing her arm. And that's what we want. We just want everyone to kind of like fall into each other and it be like super natural and not be something that's posed. So yes, the first one, we're going to get them posed. Everyone's looking at the camera. This one's going to be like the stiff, like, this is what we came here for. Then I'm going to do a prompt and then I'm going to tell everyone after the prompt, now look back here because they're going to be a lot more comfortable. They're not going to be as like, holding on to everybody. Like, this is how Ashley told me to stand. And that's typically the picture that I send for a sneak peek. Just because everyone's giving this good smiles now at this point. Everyone's a little bit more relaxed and like loving on each other rather than being stiff, like I said. After we do that, I get them moving and playing a game. This can be like anything, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of examples, but anything to get them moving a little bit because I love movement in family pictures. So this is an example of what I was talking about with like where I did a pose, and you can see that they're all standing there. They're smiling. This is a beautiful picture. I do believe Cammie went and printed this for all of the people in her family to have on their walls. The one with the prompt where we're getting like a natural laugh, I'm pretty sure my prompt was like, look at the person who has the stinkiest feet. And they all looked at dad. It like didn't fail. And so I like made a joke and I was like, what do you do? Like, are you taking off your shoes? And everyone just like knows that you're home. And they just thought it was really funny. Like mom started looking down at her daughter and laughing at her as well. And they just thought it was really funny. This is the picture mom has in her house. So if you can see the difference, you can see how they're still like, in a spot, but they're, laughing and having a little bit more fun and giving like those genuine laughs. Other standing prompts that I do is do not smile, do not smile, do not smile. And this is going to do one of two things. It's either going to make them burst out laughing because I don't know about you, if someone tells me do not smile, I'm going to smile. Or it's going to give like pretty like sweet, soft, like just serious faces, which are super cute, especially if you zoom in on the kids. Another one that I do is everyone hug. Another one I do is funny face. Now this one, I try and engage the parents. If I think the parents will participate in a funny face, I have the whole family do it. If not, then I'll have the kids do it and parents look down at the kids. And you can get a lot of that information with pre-communication. And I preach pre-communication and client experience pre-session so much. And that's something that you guys can get out of that. Another one is kids show me your superhero or princess, pose or face, parents look at the kids. Another one is guess the tune. So I ask mom or dad to hum a tune that the family knows and the kids have to look at the parents or whoever's doing it and try and guess what the tune is. Another one is tip the kids. So dad's going to pick up the youngest if they're young enough and tip them over, and mom and dad mom and the other kids just kind of like tickle or kiss or do something, and that always ends up being super cute too. Now this is an example of a pose and then a game. So if you can see, like I did a pose, the older daughter was feeling a little left out that she wasn't being held to, so dad wanted to hold her. And then I told them to dance. And so if you can see, like, dad is twirling his little girl and mom is like swaying back and forth and capturing, and I'm capturing movement. So if you can see in her dress, let me move my face. If you can see her dress, it's like swaying around, and that's because like she's swaying back and forth with her daughter and dad is just twirling and having fun. So that is an example of movement. I play a lot of music at my sessions, so it's not weird to have them start dancing because I'm already playing music at my sessions. So other standing games that you guys can play is 1, 2, 3 run, or 1, 2, 3 tickle, or 1, 2, 3 something. And this is really cute because it gets the kids like anticipated, like they're anticipating you saying 3, so they're watching the camera and you can kind of get some really cute smiles with that. Another one is mom and dad stand belly to belly and kids are playing tag around them. Like I said, dancing, this is cute with the whole family, just the kids, dad and daughter, or mom and son. Tickle fights, that's really cute. Make sure you don't tickle too hard because little ones can sometimes have accidents, or it gets to a point where it's not funny anymore and they start crying. So make sure it doesn't last too long. Ring around the rosy, it's really cute. Peekaboo between mom and dad's legs. This is really cute if your kids are under the age of 4. They can kind of like mom and dad stand either belly to belly or side to side, and kids are just playing peekaboo around their legs. Parachute with a blanket, or red light, green light. And this works with dancing or running. You know, green light and they're moving around. Red light, they have to freeze. And sometimes that ends up being really cute laughs because they freeze in some ridiculous poses. So next would be sitting. Again, it's the same system. You sit, you pose, prompt, and then some of my prompts are like look at or telephone, and then another pose, and then another game. So here is an example of a pose where I pose them. And then this is, my prompt was, we played telephone. So I asked mom to, I always start with mom. I asked mom to like think of a funny phrase. If she doesn't have a funny phrase, I give it to her. Typically it's something about with dad, like daddy's got stinky feet, or daddy's got bad morning breath, or daddy likes anchovies on his pizza, or something like that. And so mom will sit there and say to the nearest kid, the whisper, and then the nearest kid says it to sibling, and the last person is dad, because the prompt's normally about dad. So as you can see from here, the daughter, she thought it was so funny. So she made a connection with me laughing because she was like, I can't wait to tell you, because at the end, I always ask them to yell it out to me. And so you can see like the little boy, he's whispering it to his dad. Like, how cute is that? He's like interacting and just having it. And you can see him like holding him now, rather than him just like kind of being a little bit more stiff on the left side. So yeah, it just kind of, like I said, it just gets everybody loosening up a little bit. Other sitting prompts that I do: hug closely, like bear hug. Everyone look at the person who smells like cotton candy. Everyone look at the person who has the messiest room. The messiest room one works really good with teenagers. So I know teenagers can be a little bit more difficult, but like messiest room, or who is the most likely, look at the person most likely to get in trouble with mom and dad, or, you know, something along those lines. And then asking someone on the outside to kiss someone on the other side. This is really cute with the kids too. Like if you ask like one of the little girls to like kiss daddy on the cheek, she'll kind of like move over and kiss him on the cheek, and they get a little bit more comfortable. Kids sandwich is when you put the kids in the middle and you squish in really closely. Tell mom and dad what you love most about them. This will typically have the kids looking over at mom and saying like, I love that you, and then mom's looking at the kids. It makes it for a really sweet moment as well. Guess person's favorite. So what I do is have them all set up, and I say, okay, on 3, we are going to guess mom's favorite ice cream. So we're going to look at mom and see if we can read what ice cream she's saying. Let's see if we can be psychic. And 1, 2, 3, what do you think her favorite ice cream is? And that typically gets some really cute interactions as well. So this is one of my games for sitting. So we've got posed. The little girls are sitting there. And this one took a little bit, this one is called my sneak attack. And this one takes a different turn because like I had to tell the older siblings to do a sneak attack when I said a code word. So I think my code word here was like, you two are beautiful, or you two look like mermaids, or something along those lines. And as soon as I said it, the older siblings came over and did like a tickle attack, or you can do either a tickle attack or hug attack. And it gets some pretty cute like interactions and smiles, and just like I said, genuine moments. Mom has this one hanging up on her canvas too in her house, and it's really cute. Like, it's one of her favorite pictures. So some other games is tickle. Dad lifts the little one in the air. Mom's playing with the other kid, whether it's tickling or like doing hand movements or something. Everyone's going to sing a song together and move around. Dancing while you're sitting. Simon Says is another cute one as well. Sometimes I didn't put it on this list, but sometimes I also do Duck, Duck, Goose with the little ones. That can kind of be really cute too. But the whole point is just to get them moving and interacting with each other. Like, that's the whole point of this. So no matter what, it is important to have fun on your session. Just keep them moving and make the session interesting for the kids, but also make sure you grab those pose shots for mom and dad and grandparents or whatever. So the whole point is just to relax. Make this a stress-free session for the parents because that's what they want. They're already worried about outfits. They're already worried about a billion other things. Like if their kids are going to behave, if like you're going to get a good shot, if they're, paying all of this money and they're not going to have their pictures, they're already stressed enough. So if you go in and you're confident and you make it a fun experience for them, I promise they will keep returning and they'll come back to you every year because they're going to remember how much fun and how you're able to capture those genuine moments between their families and just like those connections. So yeah, I hope you guys found this lesson really helpful. If you guys have any questions or anything, you guys can definitely join my education group, which is linked below. And I also have a five of my go-to prompts, just kind of like a easy session guide for you guys to print out as well. And that's all going to be in the link below. And like I said, I hope you guys have like a lot of fun on your sessions, and I hope you found this lesson very resourceful. Sorry, I'm like tripping up on my words now. But all right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.